was gonna take some bread.
You don't eat bread?
You throw away the rest of my warm.
My bread costs whatever.
Hey.
Alright, Sean's coming out in just a second, so we get all your guys' attention.
Good job.
Thanks, sir.
Silence! Hit the lights. Good morning, Captain Knight. Class. I am Sun Tzu, ancient Chinese warrior, philosopher, and author. I'm here today to give you an information briefing on my book, The Art of War. I'm here today to bestow my wisdom and knowledge to you, Ordnance Class Bolik 14015, as you make your final preparations to assume leadership role in the world's greatest army. You may learn the following lessons on your own, through trial and error, or you may pay attention to my guidance and adhere to my teaching, saving yourself much strife, agony, and embarrassment in front of your platoon. A wise sage once said, you can get hell of a good look at T-bone steak by sticking your head up bull's ass. But wouldn't you rather take the butcher's word for it? Slide! So today I want to walk you through what we'll be talking about. I'm going to speak about the origins of my book, me, Sun Tzu, The Art of War, and tell you about its applications through history. I will then speak in generalized terms about the teachings and what the meaning of the text is and how the reader is supposed to experience the text. I, Sun Tzu, will then teach the class 4 essential lessons to leadership and military doctrine: consideration, deception, hastiness, and the essentials for victory. We will then have a summarizing discussion, and I will take questions from the class. Slide. Let me consult my book of wisdom here. The origins. The Art of War was written by me, Sun Tzu, in the 6th century BC in China, and since has been a world-renowned text in military strategy formulation and implementation. It was first translated into the Western languages in 1782 by the French Jesuit Jean-Joseph Marie Amour. Since its translation and migration into the Western culture, it has been credited with influencing such leaders as Napoleon, the German General Staff, and has even been traced back to the roots of the formulation and planning of Operation Desert Storm in 1991 Iraq. Slide. The teachings itself, once you open the book, you will notice that it is not a typical book read. It is not a story, and it is not a book full of situational guidance. It is not a field manual. It is highly philosophical and conceptual in nature. It reads similar to a religious text. The reader is meant to sit and be with it and experience its teachings and not apply them directly. It is meant to cultivate the reader's strategic mind. I liken it to this. You can say that you are all musical instruments, instruments of war. This is not a book of songs for you to play. It is a book that teaches you how to tune your musical instrument and get in alignment so you can play whichever song you choose as you march into battle. Slide. Lesson 1, considerations. There are 5 considerations: moral influence, weather, terrain, command, and doctrine. By moral influence, I mean that which causes the people to be in harmony with their leaders, so that they will accompany them in life and death without fear of mortal peril. By weather, I mean the interaction of natural forces, the effects of winter's cold and summer's heat, and the conduct of military operations in accordance with the seasons. By terrain, I mean distances. Whether the ground is traversed with ease or difficulty, and whether it is open or constricted, and the chances of life and death. By command, I mean the general's qualities of wisdom, sincerity, courage, and strictness. By doctrine, I mean organizational control, assignment of appropriate ranks to officers, and the regulation of supply routes, and the provision of the principal items to be used by the army. Slide. The general who wins the battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is fought. The general who loses makes but few calculations beforehand. Slide. Next is deception. All warfare is based on deception. There's immense value in the bluff and the surprise. Hence, when able to attack, seem enabled. When active, seem inactive. When near, make it appear that you are far away. When far away, that you are near. Offer the enemy a bait and lure him in. Feign disorder, then strike him. When he concentrates, prepare against him. Where he is strong, avoid him. Anger his general and confuse him. Pretend inferiority and encourage his arrogance. Keep him under strain and wear him down. When he is united, divide him. Attack him where he is unprepared and appear where is not expected. And I have provided you the image of the serpent here to remind you to be the constant deceiver in battle. Slide. Lesson 3 is in hastiness. In my book, there is a strong attentiveness to the cost of war on society. You must avoid sieges at all costs. If victory is long in coming, the men's weapons will grow dull and their ardor dampened. Again, if the campaign is protracted, your ardor dampened, your strength exhausted, and your treasure spent, other chieftains will spring up and take advantage of your extremity. Then no man, however wise, would be able to avert the consequences that must ensue. Thus, we have heard of stupid haste in war, but cleverness has never been seen associated with long delays. While speed may be sometimes injudicious, tardiness can never be anything but foolish. Slide. It is only the one who is thoroughly acquainted with the evils of war that can thoroughly understand the profitable way of carrying it on. Slide. The fourth and final lesson is an outline of the 5 essentials for victory. I will read from the slide. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. He will win who knows how to handle both inferior and superior forces. He will win whose force is animated with the same spirit throughout all its ranks. And he will win who, prepared himself, waits to take it unprepared. He will win who has military capacity and is not interfered with by the sovereign. Slide. To summarize, I would like to take a quote from one of my followers, Master Wang, in regard to officers. Silence! If officers are unaccustomed to rigorous drilling, they will be worried and hesitant in battle. Therefore, if generals are not thoroughly trained, they will inwardly quail when they face the enemy. That is a message to you, the young lieutenants of the United States Army. You must have compassion for your soldiers and know what they go to and experience the troubles with them, so you will have the gallantry in battle to emerge victorious. To summarize, we have talked about the origins of the art of war, the teachings, and 4 key lessons. We've then talked about a key message to officers. As you go forth in your victories and in your leadership to the future, I just would encourage you to avoid arrogance, adhere to honor, and above all, utilize your greatest weapon, your mind. Thank you. Questions?
Oh,